Hello everybody, welcome back to another installment of Life Stories. My name is Trent, you know who I am, and you could probably also guess that today we got more stories from Reddit/entitledparents. So, you know the drill, buckle in, let's get started. Our first story is titled, EM wants me to pay for her upgrade and harasses me for being part German. I, a 29-year-old male, am traveling about once or twice a month from Germany to visit my father in Spain. He spends his well-earned retirement there. I am self-employed, running two businesses, and since both have been running very well the last few months, I'm glad that I'm able to afford flying out that often to meet him. I always fly in business class, BC, with the known German air carrier group, given the fact that I can check in 2 pieces of luggage, since I like to bring a lot of stuff back from Spain. For example, cheese, sausages, foods, fruits from my father's trees there, etc., after my 3 to 5 day stay. There is a certain route for flights to Spain from Germany, which is very convenient for me, since I'm saving a lot of money, up to 250 euros for a return ticket in BC. Downside with this offer is that I have to take an early flight at 6:30 a.m., and there's a stopover in Zurich, Switzerland. So I have to be at the airport at 5:50 a.m. to drop off my luggage. So, one morning in March last year, I got up early, around 4 a.m., and got myself ready for the cab I ordered. The cab arrived on point and dropped me off at around 4:50 a.m. at the airport. Since the check-in counter would open for around 5 a.m., I got in line, which this morning was completely empty. I was the first in line. Around a few minutes prior to the opening of the counters, I saw a mother, later referred to as EM, with their kid, struggling with the luggage machines at the economy luggage drop-off. Minding my own business, I continued looking at my phone to check some mail. Suddenly, I got cut in line by EM with her kid. Excuse me, ma'am, you have to wait until it's your turn. Don't you see that I have a child? Therefore, I don't have to wait. I'm pretty sure that having a child doesn't give you any rights to cut someone standing in line. Please wait until it's your turn. Oh my god, leave me alone, you perv. Apparently, this dialogue didn't go without any attention by the airport staff, who we'll refer to as AS, who then came over to find out what the issue could be, and so asked me first. Is there a problem, sir? Well, EM cuts me off. Why are you asking him first? I'm the victim here. He cut me in line. Well, that's not true. I was patiently waiting here since 4:50 a.m. for the counter to open up, when she suddenly came out of nowhere, cutting me in line. Airport security said, "Ma'am, could I see your ticket, please?" AS was starting to smile after he saw EM's ticket as she gave it to him. Ma'am, this is the wrong check-in counter for you. You're flying economy class and have to use the luggage drop-off machines over there. So, I am a mother with a child. I have the right to stand here in line to drop off my luggage as well as he does. I handed him over my phone, showing him my ticket, which states, Business Class, FT. FT meaning Frequent Traveler. AS said, "This gentleman has every right to stand here in line. I'm not going to ask you again to leave." I won't leave. Leave me alone. Then, the counter opened up, and EM ran faster than the speed of light to the worker at the desk, trying to check in their luggage. I just told the airport security, "Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not in a rush." I'm sure she'll be sent away by the counter staff shortly. A second worker at another counter waved at me, and I went to her. She was asking what all that ruckus was about, and I told her what happened. She giggled, and I was able to drop off my luggage without any problems. When I got asked if I wanted a boarding pass already printed out on paper, I gladly said yes, since you know that Murphy's Law could occur at all times in life. Example, when your phone dies on your trip. As she went to give me my boarding pass, EM came over to me and shouted, "You! Pay for my upgrade." Excuse me? I said. You heard me. I deserve it way more than you to fly in business class. Are you for real? I won't pay for your upgrade. I don't know you, and apart from that, you were really rude to me earlier on, called me a perv, and cut me in line. Then give me your ticket. I won't do that. Have a nice day, lady. I grabbed my boarding passes and left, hoping I never saw that crazy lady again. Well, EM apparently had other plans in mind. She followed me to the security check, and then I got a call from my girlfriend. While on the phone, she kept cussing and swearing at me. "You are a terrible person. How could you be so rude to me and my child?" And by far the craziest thing she said was, "You sure stole that money to buy that ticket. No chance in hell a young criminal like you could afford something like that." And this is the part where I got slightly angry, but didn't lose my cool. "Ma'am, you just don't know who I am or what I do for a living. You have absolutely no right to say those things to me, just because you might be jealous of me." Oh boy, I wish I hadn't said that. EM got really mad and started kicking my hand luggage. After that, she tried to grab my boarding pass. After she grabbed it, she quickly tried to grab her kid and ran off to the security gates. Luckily, the airport staff, which helped me before, was watching the whole thing and again stopped her right in front of the gates. Afterwards, the airport police had been called and I was asked if I wanted to press charges against her. Seeing her little kid being really embarrassed about the whole situation, I decided that I won't do that. EM afterwards began to start an absolutely meaningless discussion about how a criminal foreigner like me can fly like this, while she, as a single mother, has no support or anything. I have a slightly darker skin, since my mother was part Asian and my father was German. I grabbed my stuff, passed through the gates, and went to the toilet. Afterwards, I wanted to eat some breakfast at the lounge. On my way to the lounge, I again encountered EM with her kid. It makes me wonder until this very day how someone mentally unstable like her got past the security check after acting like a spoiled teenager. Again, she saw me, and this time she tried to follow me, thinking I wouldn't notice her. Well, joke's on her. I went straight to the lounge and got rid of her. When I entered the lounge, I then asked at the lounge counter if my boarding gate had been announced yet. During that time, I heard EM screaming and whining through the massive glass doors of the lounge, yelling louder than I've ever heard her before. "That was my friend. He knows me, and I'm sure he will confirm everything." Well, I couldn't be bothered with that anymore, so I sat down in an empty armchair, plugged in my headphones, and listened to some music while getting some breakfast. Suddenly, a lounge employee went through the lounge, asking other guests if they knew anything about the lady outside. That was getting way out of hand, so I went to the lady and explained what happened at the check-in counter and security gates. EM eventually got sent away by the airport police. After enjoying my stay, I went to the gate for boarding, and again, the universe seems to have so much joy in tormenting me. I saw EM at the same gate again. This time, I tried to avoid being seen by her, so I tried to walk around her and got in line for the priority boarding line. Then the announcement came for the boarding to start, and I quickly got onto the plane. But bad luck struck again. The plane had been swapped from an Airbus A321 to an Airbus A320, meaning that every passenger has to enter the plane via one door at the front instead of two separate ones, meaning EM would see me when she got on the plane. I decided that it would be a good time to go to the bathroom, so I asked the flight attendant if it would be possible. She said no problem, and I went there, hoping she passes me once I got out. Well, joke's on me. When I got out, nobody else boarded the plane for some reason. I got back to my seat and hoped for the best. Suddenly, everyone, and I mean everyone, had their eyes wide open as they heard EM's loud and squeaky voice through the hallway to the plane. To make matters worse, I sat in 1A, meaning that it would be most likely that she would spot me. And for completion of all that trouble, her kid saw me first, then she did. I took a deep breath and thought, this would be the longest 45-minute flight to Switzerland that I've ever had. Immediately after she spotted me, she tried to screw me over again, starting an unexpectedly civil conversation that I had taken her seat. "Excuse me, sir, I believe you're sitting in my seat." No, I'm not. Look at my boarding pass." She then took it away from me and claimed to the flight attendant that I'd tried to screw her over. What a total BS situation. The flight attendant then looked at the name of the boarding pass and asked the EM if she realized that there's a male name on the pass. Shortly after, I reached into my wallet and showed her my ID card. Afterwards, she claimed that it would have been an error in the carrier's system, since she states that she booked the seat row for her and her kid. She then just sat down next to me in the row with her child, saying she would not move since I would not, and deserved to fly with better service since she has a child. Long story short, the flight attendant gave her a last warning that she should stop right now with this nonsense, or else she and her child would be kicked off the plane. Suddenly, she was calm like a sheep and left me alone. Shortly after takeoff, when breakfast was served, the flight attendant from before came to me and apologized for the disturbance. I said to her that there's no need to worry and it wasn't her fault, and told her that crazy people always think they're right. At the end, I got to Spain on time and was very happy that I could enjoy some time with my dad. I feel like not every story has to have the Karen get their comeuppance. For as satisfying as it is, I think it's more satisfying to see the OP get to where they need on time. And speaking of time, we are just about out of it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for tuning in to another installment of Life Stories. You know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, write it on the chalkboard. I don't care. So long as you're back and you can catch the content we've got cooking up for you, I will be here and hope to see you guys soon.